Welcome to Laying It Down. This is Karlo.
This is Ray. What's up?
And welcome to another episode. And we have a special guest today.
Hi.
So, just to kind of, bring us back here. Again, welcome back. Thank you again so much for tuning in. As usual, we really appreciate your guys' viewership and everything, especially throughout this tough time. But this is why we're here. We just want to be able to just have fun and just, continue to, keep you guys entertained until we're able to get back on the court again, right?
Right. We're on day, 50-something?
And who knows what day it is?
Lost count, so.
That's yeah, me too. So I can't really complain. So anyway, Gabbie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Of course. So, before we go ahead and get started, like I said, we usually just ask, first question is, how did you get started in the game of volleyball?
Okay. So I started playing volleyball when I was 10 years old. So 15 years ago. The reason I got started is because in grade school, we had like middle school sports, and I really wanted to do basketball. And my dad was like, you should try volleyball. And I was like, that's volleyball.
Okay.
And so I tried it out, and I was like originally more interested in basketball.
Okay.
Turns out I actually like volleyball way better. My dad was actually my first coach. So that's what got me started.
Oh, so your dad plays volleyball too? Your dad was around in the...
Not anymore, but He played in like intramurals in college in the Philippines.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, he was a setter.
So you were...
I think that's what everyone, basketball, everyone gravitated to. Like, first thing, basketball is like very popular sport. And then... Especially
for Filipinos.
Exactly, yeah. Because I started playing basketball too. Mm-hmm. And then in high school, I was like, I'm going to try volleyball real quick. Because, your boy is under 5'6", 5'7". I was like, all right, it's either you make a really good point guard or you don't make it at all. So I'm going to try out volleyball, and the rest is history.
I'd like to say I'm the same way too, yeah. Go ahead.
Karlo over here, Karlo is still playing some feet in the court.
I'm 5'1", so even for a girl that's really short.
Right.
Oh, no.
But it's more better if you play volleyball because, as a defensive specialist.
I actually played, I did swimming when I was younger, and I tried a lot of sports when I was little. I did gymnastics, I did swimming. I wanted to do soccer, but, my parents never had time for it. And, gymnastics would have been great, but they were like, we want you to do practicing, 6 hours a day. And my parents were like, no, that's not going to happen. And so then, I didn't really get started in sports until I was 10, so... Yeah.
That's good. Swimming is crazy because I did swimming too in high school, and it's a lot of work.
My sister does swimming.
Yeah, it's a lot. You gotta wake up 5 a.m. for practice, and then get to class in the morning smelling like chlorine all day. Yep. And then you're gonna practice again after school. Man.
Yeah, and then meets take hours. It's just no thanks.
You didn't shower, Ray?
And then yours meet. At the end, you have that big gap. You just wait all day.
Yeah, seriously.
That's so great. I mean, and it's good to hear that the volleyball community also is also rooted into different sports. I mean, it's, like you said, you started off as a basketball player. I started off in basketball. Ray started off in basketball. And then you just kind of just gravitate towards it after playing after a while, right? I mean, you said you learned to grow to like the game, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was also better at volleyball. So.
There you go. It's natural.
Yeah.
It is. Well, that's good. So you went from grade school. Where'd you go to grade school?
I actually went to grade school in the suburbs. It's called St. Isidore. I don't know if you...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. St. Isidore, that's it's like by Army Trail Road. And
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Scary.
So is that Bloomingdale? Is that Bloomingdale?
Yeah.
That's Bloomingdale, yeah. So
Karlo's been around, so he knows.
I mean, I've dabbled around in that area before. I mean, we had a couple basketball tournaments out there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Saint Isidore, and then when did you move into the city?
I moved for high school.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then I went to Northside College Prep, which is on Kedzie and Foster.
Yeah, definitely.
Northside College had a good program.
Not when I was there.
Really?
My high school year, I mean...
When were you guys in high school?
We out here dating ourselves.
I graduated 2011, so...
Oh, you're only 2 years older than me.
I graduated in 07.
Oh, no. Yeah, you're 2 years older than me because I graduated in 2013.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I mean that year, I don't know. We probably sucked so bad that season, but man, we couldn't kill freaking Northside.
Yeah, I mean, both the men's and women's volleyball programs were really good before I came in.
Okay.
And then when I was a freshman, our varsity wasn't doing too hot, and then sophomore year, varsity also didn't do too hot. Then junior and senior year, we kind of like stepped it up.
Yeah.
And then senior year, we won conference, and we went to sectionals. So that was fun.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, that's farther than I think both of us have gone. So that's always
Well, to be fair, we also got moved down a division senior year because our junior year season didn't do so well. But,
well, I mean, hey, you can only play whoever they put in front of you. So that's,
that's true,
a big...
Win's a win.
Win's a win no matter what. So, talk a little bit about then your transition, as a player from, grade school into high school. I mean, was there even a transition? I mean, did it just come naturally?
Yeah, there was a huge transition. I mean, so grade school, is when I realized, volleyball is becoming, a huge sport because 7th and 8th grade, a few girls in my class started going to club, and I wanted to join club, but I didn't have, the time to do club. And then I got to high school, and they were like, if you want to make varsity, you need to join a club. And so I was like, all right, I guess I have to do club. And so, 5th to 8th grade, it was just only volleyball season. That's the only time I ever did volleyball. Come high school, I joined club after the high school season was over. And I actually joined Energy, the one where all the luau tournaments are.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah.
It was pretty fun. I tried out with a lot of girls on my team, and they were like, you should try going for the nationals team. And I was like, I want to try and stay with my high school girls because that's what's going to make us better. And so I stayed with them. And that's pretty much it. The transition was joining a club. And then my senior year, after the season was over, I didn't do club, even though I really honestly should have, and I kind of regret it. But it's fine.
Okay. So how did you like club, actually? I mean, coming from obviously just kind of getting, I guess, in a way, kind of getting thrown into it, right? I mean, how did you like club at Energy?
I feel like my first year, I played outside my first year at Energy.
Okay.
And I was the third
very
string
good vertical then.
And I was the third string setter. But I liked it. I think it really helped improve my game. Throughout high school, though, I feel like I struggled with confidence in playing. A lot of it didn't come until college or post-college. So, in high school, I knew I had the skills. It was just I wasn't confident with the people I was playing with. The coaches that I had, they were okay. But it was also these other people are so much better than me. That's how I felt. But aside from that, I still loved the game. I would put my heart out on the court. It's just not having that confidence. It's hard to improve yourself.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Did you have any struggles? Obviously you said having that confidence. Were you able to sit down or before the game, kind of just your rituals? Kind of help yourself.
Personal rituals?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own rituals. As Karlo listens to a lot of music. That's for me. I'm more of quiet, kind of just myself type of thing.
Well, so the way that I prepared myself for games was hyping the team up along with myself. Because if other people on the team aren't like hyped up than I'm not going to be. Like I feed off of other people's energy.
Right.
So like just encouraging people, like telling people like, you know how they play, whatever, this is what they're going to go for. You can do this, whatever. It's like, that's how I hyped myself up. And then as the years progressed, like I started building up this like playlist of music that I listened to before games and tournaments and stuff. The very first song that I ever put on the playlist was Stronger by Kanye.
It's a good song. It's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
And then the other one was Remember the Name.
It's a good song too.
Yeah.
Great song. Okay.
Yeah.
At least you know you're not listening to crap music, so that's good. It's not.
I'm more of like a Katy Perry, you know.
Hey, it only takes a real person to listen to Katy Perry as you're working out. So, you know, it is what it is. I know I listen to Backstreet Boys, so it happens.
Yeah,
that's right.
So actually, to kind of piggyback off what you said, that you like to hype people up. Now looking back at it, actually, since what was it last year that we played the Big Dig together in that sixth tournament. Now I kind of see where you're coming from, because I mean we've had a couple drinks. We had a couple drinks before our drinks, or before
little tournaments. You got to play it smart. Right? Yeah.
But I did realize, the fact that you were definitely still hyping us up. You're still hyped during the games, and I'm like, and just like you, I like to feed off of other people too. But if it comes down to me having to hype everyone else up, I mean, I'll do it too. But I couldn't agree more with you. It definitely, especially in the game of volleyball, since it's such a team-oriented sport, that it takes the whole team to be able to succeed. It just doesn't take one person to take over a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
So going back to high school, actually, you said that your confidence was a little lower, and then compared to obviously post high school into college. Talk a little bit about your mentality, actually. As far as you said you love the game. You said you're gonna put it out there, put it all out there. Talk a little bit about then your mentality in high school versus what it is now, right? I mean, what does your mentality look like as far as what drives you, throughout the course of the game?
I think in high school, I loved the competition. The competition kind of drove me, as well as like the people that were on the court, but it was more fueled by like making my coaches proud and like making other people proud versus like making sure that I had a good time and that other people had a good time. Because, that's what it is in high school. It's a competition. Right. Like you're trying to be better than other schools. Versus now I'm like, if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. But at least I have fun. Like, and if I'm not having fun, that means I'm not playing well. So like, that's how much my mentality has changed from high school and club to like sort of in college and then post grad. So
did you think that you felt like you were just doing things for your coach, that, you weren't having fun? Did you think that you weren't being true to yourself, but like as a player?
I mean, I want to say that I still was trying to do it for myself and like for the team, but it was also like the pressure was also coming from the coaches. So
that's good.
Yeah, I feel like that's part of the reason that like I love volleyball and I love the sport, that like a lot of tournaments and like practices were unenjoyable. And like I'm still here. I'm still playing volleyball. They didn't turn me down.
That's true. That's true. So your high school experience then, I mean, last thing about high school before we go into your college experience is that, did you feel like your coaches then, I mean, talk to us a little bit about your coaches. I mean, did you have any favorite coaches like in high school, or did you just not enjoy the coaching aspect of things during high school?
So there was a lot of coaching changes when I was in high school. Like every single year there was a coaching change. Freshman year I had 2 coaches, and like varsity and JV had different coaches. Like the varsity coach had remained the same like all 4 years I was in high school. Sophomore year we got a new coach who had played on the team before, like after she graduated, she started coaching us. And like graduated from college, not high school.
Right. Wait, hold up.
Yeah, I was like, pretty good.
Yeah. And then my JV and varsity, we got a new assistant coach. Do you know who Vince Miranda is?
Sounds familiar.
I know him through a lot of mutual friends in the volleyball world. He became our assistant coach. He like coaches beach now in Texas or something.
What?
And for like a university, but he was our assistant coach, and I think he was like one of those people that could hype the team up, and he had a temper, but like he knew how to talk to like teenage girls to get them to play like they needed to play. Whereas our head coach, like she was great, but she was more like logistics and more fundamentals. Whereas he was like, I know you know how to play this game, just fucking play it.
Do it, yeah. Just play it, yeah.
So yeah, that's how. But ultimately, I think my dad is the one who has always like been like the sideline coach, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, look out to the sideline real quick.
Yeah.
Side note: Did your dad ever come to any of the PVL games too, or?
My mom and dad actually came to a couple. I think they came to the playoffs last year.
Okay.
But they didn't really have time to come to them because my mom works late. My dad's a professor, so he's probably, I don't know, grading or something.
So talk to us then as far as college is concerned. You said that, you know, I guess your confidence levels kind of changed after you know getting into college. Actually, where did you go for university? I guess
I went to U of I in Champaign.
Okay, great. Okay,
yeah, D-Wood, woo!
Hey, but it is what it is.
So I like on quad day they had like all the organizations or whatever. So I like put my name down for the club team, and I put my name down for like the recreational club team. And then I also signed up for intramurals.
Oh, okay.
So I did all of it. But so they had tryouts for club, and I went to them, and it was awesome because I was playing on a girls' net, and I didn't make the team, which was like kind of a bummer. But I knew I was like out of practice. I hadn't played since high school senior year, like the season. And I was like, whatever, it's fine. I'll just do like intramural and recreational. And so I joined the rec club, and they have like beginner, intermediate, and advanced nights. And it's just like open gyms every Wednesday.
Nice.
And I loved it. That's where I grew in my confidence because we only played on a men's net. Well, between men and co-ed. So it was like I was playing against these heavy hitters, and I was playing with men and women. And I had never done that before. And I think that's what upped my skill and upped my confidence. And then by senior year, I was a social chair of the rec team, and then intramurals we won 3 years in a row. So it was a lot of like I'm winning for myself, and we're winning for the team, and it's not for anybody else.
Right.
And it's for fun. Like this is what volleyball is supposed to be.
Did you think it was less stressful, like compared to like if you would have made the club team? Do you think like you would have probably maybe done the same thing? I don't know.
I actually tried out again sophomore year, and I didn't make it. And then the next year I was out, and I ran into someone on the club team who was like friends with one of my roommates who was on the club team. And she was like, you know, you didn't make it because of politics, right? And I was like,
right.
Oh, all right.
I was just going to point that out. Like, did you think it would have been like compared to clubs and intramurals, you know, there's less politics in there and more fun and, you know,
and like
straight up playing volleyball?
Honestly, I'm kind of glad that I didn't make the club team, because if I had, and the reason that I hadn't made it before was because of politics, like I don't think that I would have meshed well with the other girls if they didn't actually want me there. So like, what's the point of playing a game if you're not enjoying it, first of all, and not doing well? Because I feel like one of the most important parts of volleyball is chemistry. And if you don't have chemistry with the team, it's not going to be good for you, and it's not going to be good for them. So
Yeah.
Right.
I just
and also
accepted
like
it.
playing time too. You know, like
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you made the team, but you would have set out most of the games, and I would have probably taken the route that have more playing time. You know, get some reps in.
And it's like
wasting your time.
I think the environment would have been great if there were girls there that probably would have gotten along with me. Like, I don't know why. I didn't know anyone on the team. Like, I didn't know anyone. So I don't know why they thought politics was like, she can't be on the team. But they had like an A and a B team, and it's self-coached. So there's like no real coach. So I think I would have had a great time. But it's also like, if they think that it wouldn't have been good for the team, then that's fine.
I feel like it would have been more of like a connection thing, like somebody who's already in the team. Like, I know somebody who's about to try out.
Yeah,
or put in the good words for whoever's running.
I ended up being good friends with one of the setters, and she was my roommate for 2 years. So, but I mean, she was like, "Yeah, I don't really hang out with any of them." Wait, she actually played in PVL.
Oh,
on Bugsy's team.
Oh, okay.
She's the setter, Kirsten.
Okay.
Oh,
shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out Kirsten.
Shout out to her and for beating our brains in. Just kidding. She didn't beat our brains in, but definitely beat us this past year. This past year in PVL.
Good. She was good.
She was good. Definitely couldn't agree more. So anyway, so going into then, you had this nice little journey into college. You're playing with better competition. Granted, it's not all women, but you're playing against heavy hitters. I mean, that's personally for me. I always thought that was even better. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's what you do need is that you just need to play with an array of talent to be able to just hone in on your skills. So, what are some things that maybe mentality wise that changed from you said that your confidence started to shoot up. Right? Mentality wise, what changed?
Honestly, being in college, like away from home, I was a lot more independent, so I was able to really focus more on myself. And so I understood like what made me happy, what didn't, what drove me and what didn't. And then I also found like a really good group of people to play volleyball with, which also helps. So the fact that we meshed kind of made it like every Wednesday night is what I looked forward to during the week. And so like playing every Wednesday with like the 6'2" middle hitters and like the really good setters and like all of them, just like, I don't know what about it. Plus, I mean, my playlist has grown, so.
That's always good.
It helps a lot, yeah.
And talk to us a little bit about that as far as PVL is concerned. I mean, how did you get into PVL?
Actually, so I played in a luau with Stephanie Ong. Shout out Stephanie. And she was like, one of my friends wants to make a PVL team. And so I was like, oh yeah, just give them my name and whatever. And like told them to add me on Facebook and we'll talk and whatever. And so that's how I got started. And the person that Stephanie brought me in contact with was LJ. And so LJ was like, yeah, do you want to make a team? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Because I had wanted to be involved in PVL. I just didn't know how to. Because I'd heard of it from like people at Open Gym at St. Alphonsus. And like, that was the only Open Gym I had been going to like during my holidays breaks from college. So, yeah, I first started PVL 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I was so bad because I hadn't had like a lot of
playing time.
Yeah, a lot of real playing time, like actual playing time. Like it's always been like recreational intramural. It hasn't been like competitive, and like tournaments, okay. But like you have the whole day to like kind of warm up. Whereas for PVL, it's like one game a night and you're just like, oh, that was my warm-up game, but I did horribly. So, but yeah, so that's how I got started. And then it turns out I was on vacation during the playoffs.
Oh, sad.
The first 2 years ago. And then, so this past year, I actually got to play the whole time. But yeah, it was. I really enjoy PVL because there's a lot of people I see there that I don't normally see anymore, and like some people I grew up with also compete in it, so I get to see them.
Right.
Actually, the first time I ever heard of PVL was through my best friend Nicole, who went to UIC.
Oh,
and
yeah, she
you guys played
us.
on the same team together.
Played with us. She's a former Pipeplayer.
Yeah.
Nicole
Panetta.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to Nicole Panetta. Pipelayers.
Did you still play? I mean, I don't played it before, but
I don't think so. We whenever we get the chance, which is not often anymore, we'll like go to the beach. She actually came to see me play a doubles tournament.
Nice.
Last summer. I played a lot of beach last summer. That was fun.
Man, I remember her, man. Like, and what's crazy is that, like, so you know how now it makes sense now why she ended up at club. Your guys' senior year or whatever it was, because she actually played on the club that my high school coach was hosting. So we had some of the Northside girls come out there. Club, and that's where I first met her.
Wait, was that St. Ben's?
Yes, that was the same.
Yeah, I know exactly where. Everyone wanted me to do that, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Nah, because you're bougie. Nah, because you're bougie. You didn't want to go to the city. You don't want.
No, dude, I live in the city.
I know, but you'd rather be in the burbs.
Nah, I love the city.
But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, so shout out to
facility is definitely a change,
for sure,
to the burbs and the city.
That's for sure. So well, that's awesome. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, as far as like PVL and everything is concerned, I mean, that's why we just want to be able to have an array of people out here, on the podcast, because the volleyball community again is just it's really big and it's small at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's a problem too, like trying to find players to, get involved. And this is pretty much our goal here to, people, young kids, might have heard about us, but don't know how to reach out. And we have obviously Facebook and everything, but it's hard to approach coming in. Like if you don't know anybody, you don't know how to play. Pretty much.
Younger people, like I want to say, like even 5 or 6 or 7 years younger than me, don't even use Facebook that much.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, like my sister.
They're all on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. They don't use Facebook.
Golly. Well, it looks like Facebook's starting to phase themselves out. But so
we're the first generation of Facebook, man.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the first time you're not the first time, but maybe the first couple times you were playing volleyball. Who's maybe the first person or the first team to give you the business or like
in PVL?
No, just in general.
Anyway.
In general?
And just starting off in volleyball.
Well, I started when I was 10.
I mean, it could, or
maybe in like college, or
in college,
or
high
college,
school?
or even PVL. It could be PVL. Let's talk about PVL.
In PVL, I don't even remember.
Or just in general, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
so in high school, I played against all of the Whitney, Peyton, Lane, all of them, Jones. I think the first school to absolutely destroy us was probably Whitney or Peyton, one of those two. It was some orange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, our freshman year, we didn't really play very competitive teams, and I don't really remember who they were. I feel like it wasn't even that long ago. It was 10 years ago. But yeah, I think the first team ever to give us the business was Peyton. And then after that, it would be suburban schools, because suburban schools, obviously they all have people that can afford to go to club and can afford all of the extra training. And then the schools can also afford for them to go to have 2 days and then morning and afternoon practices. Whereas in high school, we only had the 2 days for the first month. And then after that, it was only after school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we never did weight training or anything like that. So it was just whatever.
That's wild. That's wild. So yeah, I mean, and you know, growing up, I mean, I think Peyton actually always had a good program for volleyball. Actually, I mean, they're always top notch. And then obviously, yeah, you know, you do have those suburban schools that are usually just, you know, that good because
the booster club.
They got that money, man. I mean, they got money to blow. So it's
a lot of the girls that played at Whitney and Peyton played at Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Volleyball club.
Oh yeah.
All of them came from there, and we were always just like, the girls on my team tried out for Powerhouse, and they were like, no, none of us made it. Absolutely none of us made it. And then our high school coach came up to us and was like, why didn't you tell me you were trying out? I would have told them that you were from Northside. And we were like, we didn't know. So,
politics, man. Politics.
I know. It was there was so much drama in high school. And I think that's part of it is like the drama. Like I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was like, what's the point of this drama? We're just playing a sport.
Right. I'm just trying to make, man. I'm just trying to make it.
Exactly.
Exactly. So last question before we go ahead and wrap up here, actually. If you were to make maybe a fours team, just in general, doesn't have to be men or women in particular. Who are your top 3 people that you would pick up all time on your fours team?
Like professionals or like people I know?
People that you know.
People you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, professionals.
I don't even know that many professionals, so it's okay.
Okay, so people I know. Well, I would probably pick Kirsten. She is, Kirsten, my old roommate, the girl who also plays PBL. And then, this one's hard.
It's only 3 people.
Your best friend Nicole, maybe?
Maybe Nicole, right? Maybe Nicole.
On a competitive team,
I'm telling you.
I'd pick Kirsten, and then, because I know some people that play beach like pretty regularly.
Sure.
I know exactly who I'd make for an indoor team.
Well, I mean, you could play fours indoor, right? You could play.
Yeah, that's true.
Indoor, right? So, I mean, like I said, just all around. It doesn't have to be, you know, there's no sand or anything else involved. Just
okay. So I have a roster of people that I already know that I would love.
Okay.
I played with them in the luau.
Pick the top 3. Pick the top 3.
God. Okay. Kirsten.
Okay. Shout out.
I don't know if you know him. His name's Jason.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, probably not. Well, him. And then, this is really hard. I don't know who to pick.
You got 2 more people, so. I mean, you got 1 more person, so yeah.
1 more person?
Nicole.
I think I pick this other. He actually went to my high school too, and he played club at DePaul. His name is Adam. He was also on my my team for the luau in December. That's literally my team in December for the luau is the team I would like play with forever because we have really good chemistry and like we didn't win, but it was still fun.
That's good. And that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
So again, you know, we just want to thank you so much, Gabbie, for, you know, taking this time out of
thank you for
quarantine to be able to just speak with us and you know, just being able to, you know, just shoot the shit with us. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, it's just a time for us to be able to just lick our wounds and hopefully. By the summer, by July or whatever, earlier than that, we can be able to get into the, you know, get back to the swing of things. Maybe, you know, play a couple tournaments together again.
Yeah.
So.
First luau that's gonna come up, man. I'm signing up, bro. I'm gonna be there. I don't care. I'm like, you know.
I didn't realize how much influence volleyball has had in my life until this. So, like, thank you for that.
Of course, of course.
Well, thank you again. Volleyball is deeper than what we think. It helps a lot to everyone. Yeah. So.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you so much again for joining us today. Again, just give us a click, share, subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next episode.
Word.
This is Ray. And stay in it down.
Hey, that's it.
Take care.